World Chess Baku Grand Prix being played from October 1st, October 15th, 2014. Great world-class players, one of the qualifying tournaments for the World Championship for next year. Here are the standings in Baku Grand Prix 2014, one of the qualification tournaments for the candidates final for next year's World Championship. Tied for first is Fabiano Caruana and Boris Gelfand at 3 points. Second place is my buddy Carl Nakamura from the U.S., Peter Svidler, both with 2.5. Kazmanjanov, Chalmashevsky, Karyakin, and Rajabov at 2 points. Dominguez and Grischuk at 1.5. And Mamajarov and Andreikin still winless yet, each with a point each. This is a great tournament, folks. A lot of great players here. Hi, folks. John Cordisco back again. Wow. What a great game. Not going to tell you who wins, though, of course, and screw it up. But anyway, this is round 4 of the FIDE Grand Prix in Baku 2014. It's one of the preliminary tournaments to determine the candidates' final tournament, which will determine the challenger next year in 2015 to the winner of the Magnus Carlsen Anand, a match next month. Anyway, it's between Alexander Grischuk from Russia, who I really like a lot, top-notch player, and Carl Nakamura, my buddy from the United States. And I gotta tell you, this isn't going to give away the result of the game here, but I'll tell you, Nakamura is one of the top King's Indian players. I remember the classic matches between Luke Van Wheelie and Rajabov years ago. They always played King's Indian. And this is great stuff. Anyway, I want to mention at the end of the video, there's somewhat of a choppy edited press conference. The pain in the neck part of it is the interpreter is constantly interrupting the two participants. But anyway, Grischuk is white, Nakamura is black. We're going to go through. It's going to be a King's Indian main line. We go through the first few moves. It's pretty much all standard stuff. E3, knight to G4. Now I've got my Fritz computer on off screen, and this is where everybody starts to diverge here. The computer calls for rook to E8, E takes D4, knight takes D4, knight G4, and they're all very close in score. Now Carl went for the knight to G4 line, hitting the dark squared bishop on E3 right here, just to get rid of it. So of course Grischuk moves it F6 to hit the bishop. Bishop has to go back. G5. Now I want you to remember this dark squared bishop for white. Where he ends up, you're not going to believe. In fact, he made fun of it at the end during the press conference. Grischuk said, this bishop looks like a position that you get from Fisher Random where it's impossible for the bishop to get there. And you'll see, it's kind of humorous. Bishop G3, knight H6, knight comes back. D takes, E takes, H3. Now, it's almost a point advantage for white right here, but I'll tell you, this is what I like about Nakamura games. They're always fun to watch. They're just great games, whether he wins, loses, or draws. Like the great game he had against Carlsen in Zurich last year, where he had Carlsen had him against the ropes, and he miscued and ended up losing that game. G4 by Carl. H takes, bishop takes. Now, even though it shows an advantage for white on the computer, I like black right here. I really do. There's a lot going on here, folks. You're going to see shortly. Rook to C1. Now, that was the move that probably wasn't the best move. Rook to E1, knight to D5, and later Grischuk criticized this move in the press conference at the end and said he got this and said it was a very strong novelty from a friend of his, a close friend of his. I wonder if he's still close friends with him. Rook to C1, bishop takes, bishop takes. Not as good, of course, as G takes, and knight to F7. And that takes away all the white's advantage and gives the small one the black. After bishop takes, Knight goes right to d4, and that's a good place for that knight. Very good place. Granted, white can chase it off whenever it wants to, but even if it takes, pawn here, black's got a very strong center with a passed pawn on d4. Bishop h5. That is a computer move, believe it or not. Bishop d2 is a close second. I like the h5 because there is no pawn harassing. There's no light squared bishop to harass, and it controls some key squares here and here. And also controls this square as well. King to h8. Now it's funny with these King's Indians. The computer shows it as almost a 1.5 advantage for white, but I don't believe it. And that's part of the problem with computers. Maybe I have a Fritz 13. Maybe the software isn't sophisticated enough to understand positional play. Knight to b5. And Carl goes for knight to e6. I think maybe queen to e7 might have been a little better. Or knight to f7 might have been a little better. I know it's taking the knight away from there, but those are both computer suggestions. After knight to e6, rook to c3, and queen to e7. Now this doesn't look like much right now, but this is going to heat up in a hurry, and you're not going to believe the position it ends up in the next few moves. I think Carl played very well the next 10 or so moves. Now I know they're both getting it down in time trouble, especially Grischuk. And I do have to say the round before this, excuse me, Grischuk in round 3 against Gelfand was in a dead drawn rook and pawn endgame. And on move 60, when he could get the next time control, he would have drawn easily. He was 1 second too late and he flagged. It's funny, move 60 he flags. Just as he went, and I saw the video, just as he went to push the button, it flagged. He was 1 second too late, so knight to a3, bishop f6, knight c2. I think it's a good place. Get that knight off the rim. Maybe in the future, thinking of maybe here, maybe up here, depending, or maybe here. Bishop g5. This is a very fascinating position. Very fascinating. Bishop back to h2. Computer likes knight to b4. He wants to get some action started on the queen side. Bishop to h2 is okay. And this is where the bishop is going to end up. It's really weird. You'll see. Bishop f4, offering the trade. Grischuk makes the computer move and the right move, g3. Now look what that bishop is. That's why he made the comment later. His bishop there, it looked like a Fisher random game where your bishop is on g1 at the start. Because he can't get out. And it looks like it's almost impossible for him to get there, but actually we saw that it could make it. Bishop g5, he brings the bishop back. Grischuk decides to go bishop to f3. a5 is the computer choice, or knight to g8. Carl decided to go rook to f6. Now right now off screen my Fritz computer shows just under 1 pawn advantage for white. Bishop to g2. White's getting backed up. He's playing awful defensive. Rook to g8. Here they come. Now look at these two rooks bearing down. This rook's bearing down. This rook's bearing down. This knight's in the vicinity, this bishop's in the vicinity, this knight's in the vicinity. Eventually this queen can come over. All of a sudden, everything starts to fall into place for Carl. Knight d1, rook comes over. Now you have double rooks. Bishop h3. Bishop f6. Tries to get the double rooks right bearing down now. And of course, Grischuk takes the king right off the G file. Knight to g4. Bishop takes, rook takes. Now I went from almost a point advantage for white to it's just a small advantage, a quarter pawn for black. Carl, in the last 10 moves or so, I think has played very well. I don't think Grischuk played poorly. I just think Carl, just little by little, was improving his position. Knight to c2. Queen to e8. Looking to get the queen in the action, either here or here. If rook had taken instead, f3, and the rook is trapped. Knight takes, and the Carl's down the exchange. Queen to e8, rook to g1, and here comes the knight to d4. Now I gotta be honest, when you're under pressure like this, I know it's me, and I'm not as good as these guys, but we're all human beings still. You start feeling the pressure, and you're backed up, and it's a lot easier to play for black. But the thing is, though, Carl's pushing for the win. I think Grischuk's just trying to survive here. f3. Rook comes back to g6. Now, they criticize this move, but g6, g5, and g7 are all pretty close on the computer. Knight takes, pawn takes, rook to b3 is the computer suggestion. He just decided to go rook to c2. I think he felt more secure with the rook guarding this square here, or being able to block if you have to block with a rook here at some time with those two rooks bearing down. I think that's what he was thinking. c5 by Carl. Now look at this nice pawn here. Always got to be mindful of that pawn if you're white, that he's going to start coming down the board. Queen to d3, good move, blocking the pawn. At the same time, queen's guarding this pawn. You can bring your rook over. You're just trying to keep things from basically collapsing. Rook to h6 for a Carl. And rook g to g2. Now they criticized that move, but that was the computer move. Commentators didn't like that. Rook to h3. Looking maybe to double up. Or maybe bring the other rook. But this square here is guarded very well by, it's guarded by 1, 2, 3 pieces. Rook comes over, queen h5. About a half-point advantage, a little bit over for black. But it looks miserable for white here. King to g1. Computer likes queen to g6. When bishop to e5. Now, the computer did that. Black's getting up, of course, on the g3 square, which is now guarded twice and attacked 3 times. Grischuk has to do something. He goes f4. Well, that attacks the bishop, stopping the bishop from attacking the pawn, but the queen is also guarding the g3 square. Bishop f6. Queen f3 brings the queen right over. Now look at this. Look at this setup here. Look at all these pieces. Out of the 9 squares, it's got 7 pieces on it, right in the corner. That's crazy. Queen to g6. Now it gives a question mark for this next move by Grischuk. I think king to h1 is a very natural move. Now it brought up the score to about 1.5 points for Carl. Bishop h4 was the move, or h5. Now Carl decided to go queen h6. If he goes bishop h4, f5, queen to f7, and that looks pretty good for black. This is very complicated. After queen to h6, king to g1, queen comes back. And I remember Carl was sitting there. This is move 42 now, so they got their time control of 40, so they got some time. And Carl was looking and looking and looking and looking. And the thing of it is, sometimes the computer will show you ahead, but not enough to win. Some of these positions, you just hang on. King back to h1. What else can he do? Can't move anything else. b6, just to get him in a move. b3. Now he goes queen h6. And it looks like that really potential attack is pretty much petering out now. King to G1, Queen, King to H1, Queen. H5 was something they looked at in the press conference, and after Queen to H2, I thought there might have been a little bit more hope. Because you're looking at some really neat things like, if pawn here, if pawn takes, you take this with check. There's a lot of neat stuff. This queen might end up down here, driving the king here. There was a lot of neat stuff. Went back, king to G1, bishop H4, king F1, bishop F6, and this is where they agreed to a draw. It looked really promising for Carl. I thought Grischuk defended extremely well. I think this is a fair result, but I had a lot of high hopes for Carl in this game, especially towards the end. But anyway, hell of a game by both players. Don't forget to watch the press conference in the end. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And I want to thank all my new subscribers that I've gotten in the last couple of months. I've gotten quite a few. Thank you very much. And I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
Of the fourth round of Grand Prix in Baku has been finished, and Hikaru Nakamura and Alexander Grishuk are with us. So let's check what happened in this long game.
I played the worst possible line against the King's Indian because my friend recommended it to me. I think and he said that one is a very strong novelty. After Hikaru played bishop f3, knight d4 and king h8, I thought for 50 minutes, for almost 1 hour, could not find any way for me to play. I mean, I just have no active ideas, and black just slowly starts to mate me, basically. Of course, I probably could play better, but I don't know. I just, okay.
I actually thought this was a very clever idea, this knight b5, rook c3.
Abi sizin de gelişler çıkarışılır. Çok ağıllı, çok maraqlı gelişlerdi. Ben de çünkü artık sen
And then okay, Hikaru I think played excellently and
gelişleri çok mükemmel.
tried to play quickly, which I didn't manage to.
Ben de gəldi oynadım.
Here this position is probably the most ugly position
Belki de bu
in
en
my
belə
chess
deyək ki,
career.
şahs karyeramda oynadığım en eybəcərməz
I mean, it's in fact even worse than it looks, because this bishop on h2, I mean, it never can be in such position on h2. So
təsəvvür edin ki, fil belə bir h2 vəziyyətində olmamalıdır. Təsəvvür edin.
A bit like in Fischer random, sometimes you have a piece which cannot be there in a normal chess game.
Normal şah oyunda
Here I found some nice defense,
yaxşı müdafiə,
because the point is black cannot take, because after f3 the rook is trapped.
F3-dən sonra olmaz bir vəziyyətə düşür.
And at
Qaraların.
least I put some line of defense.
Mən müdafiə xəttini seçməyə sahib.
And here I really started to see the light in the end of the tunnel.
Artıq Nelin
At least somehow I can even become better here. Imagine if I
hətta
had
bir
bishop
tər
on
necə olursa
f2,
özüm də bilmədim. Artıq situasiyam, strukturum da
rook on h2, then okay, I would have just a completely normal position. But I don't know. Black was close to winning by force somewhere. Even at the end. Here it's definitely better to ask Hikaru, because judging his dialogue with Emil Sutovsky, he saw like 5 times more different lines than me. So it's
Ama
better
Emil
to
Sutovsky
give to
ilə
him.
şərh.
Like already, I mean, Alexander used like I think 20 minutes, and I saw all these lines, except this.
20 dəqiqə ərzində mən bu gelişləri bəri. Amma getdikcə mən
But why cannot I take?
bəli, bu da götürə bilməzdim. Siz özünüz gördünüz.
Yeah, before. Yes, and queen f4.
Like this.
This was my idea.
Yes, of course. Yes, I take with the bishop. Yes, of course, because f7 or rook h2. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, f7. So here, I mean, okay, I have to take. Okay, I mean, rook takes is the right move. I mean, it doesn't look. If king takes. Ah, yeah, bishop g5, right, yeah, because takes, queen h4, yes, yeah, bishop g5 is the right line, yeah. Because rook f3, and now I have bishop e3, yeah, and it just wins. Yeah.
Bəli, burada vəzir qurban gedir.
But the problem is here, I think there's rook takes h2. Rook takes f3, queen c1, and king g2, and I mean... Okay, but bishop e7? No, but okay, I mean... No, but I mean, even this position, I mean... No, but I mean, why is... Yeah, okay, but king h3, I mean, rook g2 next move. Rook f6, rook f5? No, I mean, my king is so bad. This is, I mean, I saw
Amma
this
Nakamura söylediği kimi şahı çox
I mean, I think I must have looked at this
pis bir
like 5
mövqedə
times before I
yerləşmişdi.
actually believed that, you know, that it was okay for white. But I mean, there's just, I mean, basically, if my king is, I don't know, anywhere except g7, it's probably winning. But the king on g7, I mean,
Zeytdən başqa şahım harda olsa bəlkə də qalib gələ bilərdi. Amma tərslikdən məhz mənim şahım oradaydı.
Okay, d3, king h. Okay, one sec. Or rook h3. Rook h3. No, I mean it's my king. I saw. I mean these sorts of positions. Yeah, okay.
Peki şah B.
G3 h3. Always. No, I mean I saw many of these ideas, but I mean okay. I mean yeah, okay, but but I still don't understand. I mean what is so special? Rook takes h5. Rook f5. Or I mean, or even rook d5. Yeah, but I mean, even this. I mean, just the king is too open. I mean.
Bəli, şah burada vəziyyətdədir.
King h1. No, d2 I check. Rook g3, h3, h3, g3. No, okay. I mean, I didn't. I couldn't find anything here. I mean, it's just. I mean.
Yaxşı ideyalar
We
verir
spent like an extra hour just like just moving. But here, okay. Here, I mean, the last try I can do is probably a6, a4, a5. But I mean, yeah. But on this one, I still thought king g1. I mean, what's
No, king g1 is bishop h4 or h5.
what's that?
No, but I think you have threats like h5 or bishop h4.
H5. Right, because
Like
there's no
that's
rook
why I
g1.
played king h1. I thought it's the only move because
Yeah.
h5 otherwise.
What do you mean? No, but h5 here now.
No, here rook g1. Here it's yes.
No, here now I think. You mean what? You mean
But
here?
how? But
No, but how? I always go queen h6.
yeah, but I
Okay,
don't play
but this-
king g1.
yeah, you don't
I
have to go
play
king
like
g1,
rook
yeah.
f1 or
Yeah,
something.
rook f1. Yeah, because bishop h4, it's this. Wait, no, but now bishop h4 maybe.
Rook g1.
Right, like this, yeah. Yeah, it's very difficult.
And now actually f5 is a big threat.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean.
F5-dən sonra vəziyyətini məsləhət Anar bəylə Rəşad bəy desə məsləhət elə.
Because if I take, I mean, I get mated now. Gh4. And now there's bishop e5. I mean. No, this was the other problem. I saw this e5 and this tactic.
Bu da başqa problem.
Queen f7, even queen f4.
Queen f4. But I just take?
Take.
You want to go for this one?
Take d6.
I like this. Yes, this one also.
Maybe rook g. Yeah, maybe. But
What, h6 here?
But even now maybe I can take. Or not.
No, probably no, because I'll get my king to f7 and the d punch be too fast. But I mean, again, I thought e5 was very unclear. I mean, that's. Which one? No, but I mean.
No, he means queen h6, f6, and so on. The main line.
Yes, okay, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's, okay. All these moves are forced. I mean.
But
No, but I mean, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I don't see a win. I mean, okay, I mean, h3. Yeah, okay, but I mean, I'm not so convinced. Rook h3. I like this. Okay. No, queen e6. I draw. I just check. Okay. I mean, I still am not so sure. Okay, so maybe rook f2. Rook h3. Check. Oh. Rook f3. No, like this. No, but also there also is rook g3. Yeah, there was also this line too.
But then h6.
Ah, yeah. Ah, there's queen c4. Yeah. Ah, maybe this is winning then. I'm not so sure that it should be, but it looks like it is. Yeah, okay. Probably is.
Was it possible to play rook g3 instead of f8 after bishop b7?
No, but h6. Yeah, rook g3, h6. No, maybe it's winning then. Maybe. H6. King g1, just bishop g5.
Yes, even to bishop g5.
Yeah, no. Bishop h4 wins or not, but okay. I didn't see it.
But I don't think queen f6 there are no threats, yeah?
For black, you mean?
No, you mean here.
Okay.
After queen f6 I can just make some move.
Yes, of course. Maybe
Okay, this is not so clear. I mean, queen h6 is probably, yeah.
yeah, I mean, maybe this is good too, but somehow. Yeah, somehow I didn't. No, but this line, I mean, I'm not sure. It's hard at the board's place, but I should have seen the other one with queen c4. I just didn't see that queen c4 protects f7. That was the problem. Okay.
Suallara geçelim.
Just one question to Alexander. In the final position, did you have feeling that the worst is over, or you had some doubts still?
No, I thought we will play for like 2 hours more, but I thought that, okay, maybe when I will win by some miracle. I mean, of course, if I lose, I still would not